So today I'm going to do a review on another zombie film. Now, of course, zombie films have been very popular, especially because of shows like The Walking Dead and general pop culture. But some of these movies, like this one, which is called I Eat Your Skin, are a little misleading. Now, this movie was shot in 1964. However, it did not make it to the big screen until 1970. Now, its original title was Zombie, or there's another variant, Zombies. They also tried to call it Voodoo Bloodbath. Invasion of the Zombies was yet another title, but it got its name changed when it finally made it to movie theaters. Back in the 70s, of course, drive-in movies were very big, and one of the big attractions were double features. So the main film that people were going to see was actually called I Drink Your Blood. Interesting film. It was one of the first ones that actually had an X rating due to violence. But this film, the name was changed to I Eat Your Skin. See, you get it? I drink your blood, I eat your skin. This one was what you call a makeout film. Because the point is, you've already seen the one you came to see, which was the first feature, and your attention should now be somewhere else other than the movie. But let me tell you about it anyway. So this thing's shot in black and white. And if you're picking this up thinking you're going to have a modern day equivalent of a zombie film, well, here's your intro. Yeah, I like the people dancing in the background. See, that's kind of what I look like trying to do Zumba. But anyway, immediately you're like, what the heck? Zombies. Zombies as far as voodoo zombies. Remember the flesh-eating cannibals form of zombies haven't been invented yet. George Romero hasn't thought of that concept. So you're left with this version. So after this little voodoo ritual, which ends very strange, the girl that was dancing, she actually gets down on all fours and you're like, all right, some doggy action. No, she gets beheaded, or you think she gets beheaded. There's a goat that comes in and it's like, did they cut the head off the goat or did they cut the head off the girl? You don't know. Anyway, so it goes into the opening credits and then bam, straight into our opening scene, which is in a very posh hotel. And we see the hero, the main character, whose name is Tom, played by Joyce. One of the things you immediately pick up on this guy is his character is kind of tailored after James Bond. I mean, think about it, in the 1960s, or especially the early 60s, Bond was hot. He had Sean Connery and he was all cool and everything. And they tried to take elements of that character and form it into this. But what Tom is, he's actually a trash novelist. In fact, we really quickly learned that the name of one of his books is called Hot Lips. But he's surrounded by a whole bunch of babes who are just, because he's sitting here reading sections of his book, and it's really corny. And her breasts gleamed in the moonlight. And they're like, Well, anyway, I must be writing the wrong kind of books because, I mean, I never got that kind of reaction. But soon, Tom is interrupted by his buddy Duncan, who's also his agent. Agent is pissed off because he's too busy womanizing, chasing skirts, and when he should be writing new novels. So he's like, dude, you gotta, get out of here, we gotta write some novels. Tom's having none of it. He's too busy making out with one of the girls here, and while that's going on, something happens which strikes pure fear into the heart of every playboy.
Oh no, there's my husband.
So the whole thing with the husband coming in is done in a comical fashion, but regardless, here's the excuse to get out of Dodge. So now we have Duncan and Tom in the car driving to the airport, and Duncan reveals his big plan to get his writer inspired. We're going to fly to this place called Voodoo Island. Now on Voodoo Island we have a scientist who's currently working on a cure for cancer. We have lots of poisonous and exotic creatures. We have a bunch of people practicing voodoo. Oh, and there's supposed to be an army of undead there. None of this interests Tom. But when he mentions that the female population outranks men 5 to 1, now he's on board. So they get to the plane where Duncan's wife, Coral, is waiting for them, and they board the plane off to Voodoo Island. Now, of course, the plane has to crash. I understand this in the plot line. You want your characters to be trapped, and that's going to give that claustrophobic feeling. But the way they do it in the film is just really unrealistic. Let me give you an example. So he's flying, the pilot who's flying the plane the entire distance suddenly goes, oh, we're low on fuel and I cannot find the island on this map. That might be why they call it an uncharted island, but regardless, Tom looks out, oh, there it is, there's an island right there. Here, let me take the controls and I will land this bitch. And he supposedly lands it on the beach. No, this is not a seaplane. This is a regular plane with wheels. You're going to land it on sand. Okay, a little bit unbelievable, but that's how they chose to strand them. Realizing their dire situation, Tom says, all right, look, you guys stay here with the safety of the plane. I'll go wandering off into the jungle and find help. So off he goes. But he takes a pistol at least. Shoves it down in his pants all gangster style. A few minutes of wandering the jungle, he comes across a very beautiful woman who is skinny dipping in a little lagoon. Tom, being a creeper, is checking her out, when suddenly he notices he's not alone. Neither of them are alone. There's a zombie watching. Yeah, creeper zombies. So I want to talk about for the zombies real quick because it's 17 minutes into the film and we're going to see the zombie for the first time. This is the reason we're watching, right? Well, let me show you. This is the first scene of the zombie showing up. Yeah, that's it. You could tell the budget was lacking. What it looked like to me is they took one of those styrofoam heads like you display wigs on. We'll put some paper mache on here and put some oatmeal and paint down the eyeballs, you know. All the zombies look like this. I think the only difference is some of them, the eyes are painted better than others, but there's your zombies. Anyway, naked girl who's skinny dipping manages to get out of Dodge. Tom, when he finally gets ashore looking for the zombie has vanished. And after wandering around for a bit, he runs across his first villager, a guy named Tomas, who's a local fisherman. Now, this whole intro into this one scene, there's drums in the background. And at first I thought, okay, is this just the soundtrack? Well, he asked him, hey, what's all these drums? Tomas tells him, oh, there's going to be a sacrifice tonight, senor. Oh, okay, so the drums were actually really like that in the set. Okay, never mind. Anyway, he starts questioning about, okay, what's up with the oatmeal faced dude with the bug eyes? Well, before Tomas can really give him an answer, well, here comes Mr. Zombie and promptly kills Tomas. The zombie then turns on Tom. Tom pulls his gun out of his pants, unloads it into the belly of the zombie, which of course does nothing to him, and right when it looks like he's going to bite the big one, up pulls a Jeep with a whole bunch of armed guys who jumps out and the zombie runs off. Now it turns out the guy that shows up, his name is Bennett. He's actually working with the doctor, supposedly. And Bennett explains to Tom that this was actually a fugitive and they've been looking for him for days. And when he says, what, his face was all fucked up and his eyes and shit. Like, oh, it's drugs. We got some locals who are breaking into the doctor's lab and getting some of the drugs and taking that, and that's what it does. You get really bad acne and bug eyes. Tom buys it. Despite the fact that even before he got in the plane, his buddy Duncan told him, well, there's an army of the undead in this island. No, we're going to buy the drug excuse. Okay, fine. Anyway, Tom's convinced with that answer, so he gets with Bennett, they get in the Jeep, they drive down to the beach and pick all the others up from the plane. From there, they go to the doctor's little compound. First scene in, Tom meets naked chick. Turns out her name is Jenny. She's the daughter of the doctor who's doing the research, playing the piano, and of course this guy's a womanizer. What's he gonna do? Start hitting on her. But he's interrupted. Dad shows up along with Bennett, and they start talking about, oh, all this violence is happening and all these guys stealing the drugs, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, eventually they leave. Tom gets back on the make. Hey, Jenny, let's go for a walk out in the jungle at night. Even though there's like these zombie dudes walking around, we're gonna go for a walk. Well, they do. They go outside and sure as shit, here comes at least 5 zombies. The zombies grab Jeannie and they're trying to abduct her. Tom gets knocked down, but oh, he's a badass. He gets back up, takes out all 5 of them, grabs the girl, and they get back to the house. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was out and like 5 zombies attack me, wouldn't you go to the house and be like, lock the doors, get some weapons, a stick or something, there's zombies outside? That's not what they do. They run right by his buddy and his wife who are outside, you know, drinking. Hey, what's going on? You know, they go inside and there's an, you know, like, oh, there's stuff outside and she just got attacked. Well, I'll put a few guards outside. That's it. Oh, and she'll be okay. Put her to bed. She'll be fine. That's how it ends. And of course, you know, she goes to bed and then there's the zombie outside, stalker zombie, just standing there. Anyway, the next morning, Tom is trying to talk Jeannie into, we need to get the hell off this island. There's zombies up in this bitch. Not cool. Jeannie, of course, will not leave unless her father agrees to go. So it's okay, well, let's go to the lab. We'll talk to your dad, get your ass off the island. Well, on their way there, they come across a hut. Kind of funny here because they're checking out, they hear this moan. What's that? So they open the door and it's dark, they can't see. So they shut the door. Tom goes and gets a torch from somewhere. Somehow he gets fire, opens the door, sticks the torch in. Oh, there's 6 zombies up in here. So what does he do? Oh shit, we don't want to go in there. He closes the door and off they go to the lab. What? I mean, these are the things that attacked the girl the night before. You got a torch, burn the damn hut. No, that's not what they do. You can kind of see this movie was actually featured on Elvira's TV show. And you can see there's a lot of areas where you can make fun of it and multitude of these things. And this is one of them. Anyway, they get to the lab and they get inside and we're seeing what the doctor's doing as far as his cancer treatment. So what he's doing, he's milking snakes and getting their venom. He's then putting it into this chamber and blasting it with radiation. After that, they take it to another room, and this is out of Tom and Jeannie's sight. But us, the audience, get to see that he goes in there, injects this into a person who promptly turns from normal into oatmeal zombie. So not exactly the cure for cancer here. Anyway, he comes back out. Tom is trying to talk him into leaving the island with him and, you know, take his daughter. He's like, no, it's too late for me. Just take her and go. And, okay, there's the plan. We're going to leave the dad take off. Tom and Jeannie get back to the plane, who they've managed to get the plane refueled at this point, and all the other characters are there waiting. And when they get there, they tell the 2 women, this is Duncan's wife and Jeannie, wait here, you're safer. We're going to go down and get the plane ready. What it looks like, they're turning the plane so they can take off going straight down on the beach. Well, while they're in the process of doing this, zombies show up, they abduct the 2 women. Well, when most of the guys run after to try to save the women, another zombie comes carrying a case of dynamite, walks straight up into the propeller of the plane, and blows the plane up. Well, this now leaves Tom and Duncan by themselves. One other guy that was with them, who was, I guess, a servant of the doctor, he's dead. Well, now all the pissed off voodoo worshiping natives are chasing them. Zombies are chasing them, and they end up going to a cliff where they jump off into the sea. Scene change. We go back to another voodoo ritual, people dancing and stuff. Jeannie's laid out like she's going to be sacrificed. Duncan's wife Coral she's all tied up, you know, and screaming and stuff. Cut back to Tom and Duncan, who have managed to swim up into a lagoon where they see a boat. They're like, cool, there's a boat. Where'd that come from? The boat is guarded. In the back, they have, you know, big guard with a rifle, and he's standing there. Well, they sneak up to the back of the boat, swimming up to it. When he looks over, they grab him, pull him into the lagoon, beat him to death with a rifle, and then throw the rifle away. They climb into the boat. Now, at this point, Tom grabs this flare gun, and Doug says, why are you getting that? Well, it's better than nothing. And off we go. But you know, wait. Better than nothing? You just had a rifle, asshole, and you threw it in the lagoon. Again, more moments to make fun of. Anyway, they take the secret shortcut back into the lab of the scientist, where they find, conveniently, some disguises. We're talking ponchos and these masks that look like they came out of Africa. They put that on so they can sneak into the voodoo ritual. Well, meanwhile, Jenny's about to be sacrificed. Now, through the film, you learn in small parts that the big villain here, his name is called Papa Negro. I'm serious, that's his name, Papa Negro. You know, he has his machete and he's, getting ready to sacrifice Jeannie. Suddenly, Jeannie's dad pops out the bushes. Apparently, not only is he a scientist, he also is an outstanding knife thrower. Throws the knife, hits Papa Negro in the chest, he falls down dead. Mask falls off his face. Oh shit, look who it is. It's Bennett. So, at this point, there's a distraction. People dancing are like, oh no, Papa Negro got whacked. Well, the men rescue the women and all they all go off running with the doctor to get out of Dodge. They go back through the lab, in other words, they're trying to get down to the boat, when the doctor stops and turns up all these switches on his little nuclear reactor that he was using to radiate the snake venom. They all get to the boat, and after fighting off a couple of zombies, they get away. Island blows up. Again, cheap special effects, looks like a paper mache island with fireworks blowing up on it. During the battle with the zombies, though, the doctor gets stabbed in the back. And again, another thing that's kind of stupid. He's laying there and there's a knife stuck in his back, so Tom's going to take it out, and he's like, no, don't touch it. So they flip him over, so he's like, what? Doesn't make sense. Anyway, the doctor reveals that this whole thing, he was being manipulated by Bennett, and Bennett wanted to create an army of zombies to take over the world, and all, here comes the whole plot full circle, and boom, it ends back where it started at Lush Hotel with Tom telling, elements of his book and women swooning over him. So should you watch this movie? Well, now if you're expecting anything resembling a modern horror film, you're going to be gravely disappointed, and this is royally going to suck. If you can tolerate watching some of these like pop culture 60s films, it's okay, you can watch it. I mean, it flows well, it moves, it's not boring to watch. It's just, if you're expecting, kick-ass zombies and stuff, the film doesn't happen. And what's really weird, especially on that double feature, to have something like I Drink Your Blood, which is all this gore, it's an exploitation film, and then to follow it up with a black and white I Eat Your Flesh, which is kind of lame and it has nothing really to do with the first film to begin with. Yeah, that's why I watch them, so you don't have to. But if you really want to, check it out on YouTube, hit the search, and I Eat Your Skin, and bam, you'll find a copy of it. I just warned you. And that's it for this review. See you again next time. Take care.